Hi Flosstube, it's Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. Today is January 26th. I don't even know what time it is. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel about cross stitch, and this is a different view for y'all. We did some rearranging last time. I don't know if on my last video I had done that yet or not. We moved out a couch in this room that we live in. So if you haven't been to my channel before, we live in Oregon and kind of in a rural area. My husband built a shop. We have an interior room that we live in and a tiny house, and my husband is building a house for us, which is such a blessing. So I decided that I wanted to do some sewing, and there was just no room in this room that we have. So we moved the couch out, put 2 tables up, and I have been sewing like crazy, So welcome to my channel. It's a channel about cross stitch, but it's also going to be about sewing in the future. I used to sew quite a bit and haven't sewn much since we moved. And I'll show you some of the things I've been working on. Oh, by the way, the whip parades are off the chain. I just love this time of year, and a shout out to Barbara Johns, who is Stitching with Grammy. I think that's her channel. I'll link her below. She had one video that was 4 hours and 23 minutes. And it's like, the award goes to Stitching with Grammy for the longest whip parade. One single video I've ever watched. And of course I couldn't watch it all in one sitting, but it was awesome. It was so awesome. And then also Stitching Faye. I think she has a 2-part out whip parade. The Sable Stitchers had a 2-part. Sarah Memphis E. She has a 2-part. The Sable Stitchers, I think I mentioned, they have a 2-part. Who else? I think Narissa might have a 2-part. Just, it's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. And a lot of times I'm like, ooh, I have that started. Ooh, I have that started. I want to go get it out and start stitching on it. So I do love it. I decided that today I'm going to have a different look here. I know my outlight's kind of in the way, but this is my new kind of area of my house that I love. And I sit in my chair over there and I watch TV up there, and then I come over here and sew. So exciting things. What else is going on? We got windows for our house. Todd's been putting those in. 2 of my kids came over yesterday and they put the biggest windows in. One is I think it's 4 by 5 foot picture window, so it doesn't open or anything, and it's heavy. I told my husband when they came, I'm like, these are going to be heavy. I think these are heavy. And later he goes, they're really heavy. And they worked on the north side of the house where the elevation is lower on the ground, so it's higher to get the windows in, and they got those in first, thank goodness. So next time I'll take a little quick tour of the house so you guys can see an update. The roofers come Tuesday, Wednesday. It'll probably be roofed by Wednesday, I would imagine. And probably the windows will be in next time. So exciting things are happening. It's a hurry up and wait. We were waiting forever. And then the framing finally was done. And so the next phase is happening, which is exciting. So what have I been working on since the last time I saw you? Well, let me tell you. I started Mary Ann Kopp, 1839 by with a needle and thread. Sorry, it's very glary. I don't feel like taking it out though. And the threads are scrumptious. That pink feels like it's the same vein as my red sweatshirt. Very almost Valentine-like, right? So I picked up, this is Fox and Rabbit Ballet Slipper. I think this is the one I bought 2 of them. One from Colorado Cross Stitcher, and I think this is the dye lot from Colorado Cross Stitcher. It's a skosh pinker than the first one I had. The first one I had, I stitched the sister sampler for my sister on it. This one is just a little bit darker, and I really like it because these colors look magnificent on it. And you'll notice I'm a lower left corner starter. And so any of my projects that I show you, probably the lower left corner is going to be done, which is different because a lot of people start in the upper left. The flowers are so pretty. The yellow on this blush color fabric is fantastic. And the color clockwork of the bricks is also great. Complementary color on this fabric. So I got going on that, and then I thought, well, what's the next thing I'm going to work on? This is, by the way, this is going to be a pretty quick video today, I think. I always say that, and then it ends up being about half an hour, but I think today is going to be more like 20 minutes, maybe. Maybe, baby. But I don't have time, like I won't be able to get this done next weekend, so I'm going to have to video this today. All right, I'm going to show you the third thing I worked on. I'm going to skip and show you the second thing last because it's big. The third thing I worked on, and this is also a focus piece for this year, is Esther Edison by Chessie and Me. The picture, this is actually a picture, and it came unglued from the background cover. So Esther Edison is quite interesting. It's very, there's some areas on this that are very ghosty, and I thought I might change them, and then as I stitched it, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to. Here is the color, the threads. Let's see, is this all of them? Yeah, this is it. There are some great reds in here. If you would have noticed on the picture, there's a lot of red, a lot of neutrals, and some black. And I don't know for sure, but I think this is Picture This Plus Legacy. When I last showed this during my whip parade, I hadn't worked on this. I think this was a 2020 start. I'd only done this much along here. So this time, the last day or so, too, I worked on bringing the border over. This is the farthest to the right. And I'll be going up from here and up from here. And I stitched this weird little person. It's going to be, yeah, there you go. Funny little weird person. There's some interesting characters on this one. There is a little blind person. It says poor blind man at the top. And then there's another character. It kind of looks like a Lego person almost over here. And then these are actually stitched with a light, like almost like a white and a cream, and they match exactly the fabric. So they're super ghosty. But when you look at it in person, it definitely gives the piece texture. And because I don't usually put glass on my pieces, you would see it if you're coming up and looking at it, but definitely you can't see it from your point of view right now. It's these alternating ones right here. And even in person, you might from a distance think that that's not stitched. Now, I love it. And I'm not one for being, like, I don't really care for ghosty stuff that much, but I think this is fantastic. And maybe that this is the limit that I really like. Like I said, this is, I'm pretty sure this is Picture This Plus Legacy. I went and looked at my whip list. I didn't write it down. So that was back when I didn't always write that stuff down. So those are the two, the first and the third that I worked on. And the second one that I probably spent more days on than any is Rose Wreath Sampler. This is, I gotta take it out. This is a focus piece for this year, and she is big. There's a lot to this one. So when I had shown it on my whip parade, I had done basically down here, and I went up this side with the border. The bones of the border are in, but I've been working on the flowers that are on the border. So, oh, these threads. There's a lot in here. You know, one thing about stitching big projects is when you're done and you have leftover threads, it is so satisfying to integrate your threads back into your stash. I think so anyway. This, the Cinnabar and Colonial Rose and Jakey Brown, I think I might have thrown a couple extras in here just for, if I wanted to choose something different when I'm stitching. And then Cappuccino and Faded Rose. They're all kind of in that same color family. And on this one, you can choose Rose Garden. Well, it's charted to use either Rose Garden, which is a muted color palette, and this color is fantastic. It's General Arts. It's so pretty, very variegated. Or Claret, which is more of a wine color, hence the name Claret, which is very beautiful, kind of a maroonish red color. All right, so what did I work on? Well, I worked on the top. And I'm going to try to show you this, but she's so big that it might not show everything. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. Good thing I've got long arms. Now, this was already done. This was already done. I went across here. And then I was going to keep going. I thought, I kind of want to stitch this fun little potted tree. And it was off kilter by one stitch. So it wasn't centered. And I'm like, I can't have that. So I centered it. And I did the same thing on this side. And I think I substituted a couple threads because there are a lot of light white colors that do not show at all on my fabric. And so this color along the side is Grasshopper by Weeks. And this was supposed to be Grasshopper by Weeks and stitched on the in-between with Eggshell by Gentle Arts. And I just got tired of it. So I changed it to Bayberry, which is a green, it's more of a blue green, whereas the Grasshopper is more of a yellow green. And I changed the white from Eggshell to Chai. So it's kind of a dirty white. It shows up pretty good in real life. And then I stitched, this is called for Blackbird, which is a Gentle Arts. And I stitched the 2/2 or 1/2, I should say, here in the big letters. The little letters, I used a Swatzophine. I think it's 2686. I'll put it down below if it's a different number. And it was amazing to stitch with. This is 40 count, and this is over 1/1. It was like stitching with an eyelash. It was so fine. And like a clean eyelash. It doesn't have any mascara on it. It just was so easy to stitch with. Now, it did take me a few days to stitch this because that over 1 is very particular. Like you have to pay attention and it would be easy for it to slip. So I had to be careful. And I would work on this border here, which I changed from maple syrup, which is the urn, to tarnished gold. I kind of like the golder color better, goldish brown. I would work on this a little bit, and then I would work on this a little bit, and then I would work on this a little bit, and then I'd work on this a little bit. And finally I got that done, and I worked on this, which is like a water skipper. And it's a rainbow water skipper. Kind of an odd little motif. But it was kind of fun to stitch. Very, very confetti-ish. And so this next time I will work on bringing this down, finishing the border. And then I'm going to drop down and start this, where'd it go? The grass, the 20 acres of grass. So I'll stitch this band next. Then the last band is going to be the wreath and some motifs. And as I finished this up here, I thought, oh, I'm done with the over 1 stitching. Then I looked at the pattern and I realized the wreath is full of more words, of which some are over 1 stitching. So she's gorgeous. I love it. And this is one of my focus pieces for the year. The only one of the 3 that I stitched on, which is not necessarily a focus piece, is Marianne Kopp. And I think what I'm going to do, I change my plans every week if you watch me, is I think I'm going to work on 2 of my focus pieces and a 3rd one that's not a focus piece, because I was hoping to touch all my whips this year. I might not touch my Hade, but the rest of them, I'm hoping to touch all of them at some time during the year, which means even if they're not a focus piece, I'll bring them in and stitch on them at some point during the year. So in addition to my stitched pieces, I had a bag sale and I finished, I think I sewed 20 bags and all but 3 sold. So if you're interested, reach out to me. These are the 3. I have this beautiful aqua dogwood. I actually have a couple of these I hadn't put on the sale. So if you're interested, let me know. This is a fun boat. It kind of looks Polynesian. And sometimes the motifs are this way and sometimes they're upside down. So it's kind of a mixed directional fabric. And then this one is this was a beautiful, I don't even know who made this fabric, but it's fun. So I did that. And Mom and I started a Bible study, which was great. It's this book Come Home. The woman who does this book is Carolyn Saunders. She also does videos with it. It's a great, I'm really enjoying that series. So I've committed to that once a week for 7 weeks. And what else? Oh, well, there's more. There's more. Never you fear. I did a little shopping one day at Acorns and Threads, and I picked up the new Mirabilia. I love this one. This is Mary Mary, M-E-R-R-Y, Mary Mary. And she kind of reminds me of Miss Christmas Eve. Is that her name? The other one that's like this? This would be great stitching both of them and putting them side by side. Would be beautiful. And then this is Miss Crescent's Crown. I think she started dyeing fabric and then stopped. She's the gal who started Crescent Colors, which has turned into Classic Color Works. So there was a piece of 40 count linen coffee cake is the color way. So I picked that up too. I think I got a couple skeins of thread and that was it. Oh, I think Acorns and Threads is going to be highlighted in Just Cross Stitch in one of the future releases. So keep your eye out for that. And because I'm back into sewing again and am looking forward to making a quilt, I bought Lori Holt's new line, Peace and Plenty. There is a quilt along that she's hosting, and it is flower baskets. I'm not sure if that's the name of the quilt, but I saw that quilt and I was gobsmacked. I'm like, so it's a mix of applique and piece quilting. I bought a couple of these art bins and it has rickrack on it, but I thought it said rainbow. I got this teal color. I thought it was a rainbow color, but I'm not sure. I'm going to have to check it out. There's a lot of fabric in this. So there's one and a second one. But I wanted to be able to put this somewhere where it was all contained. And Lori, in this fabric line, she has cross stitch fabric. Kind of reminds me of Blackbird. And there's another one. Let's see, is it in this binder? No, it's not. Hold on just a second. I want to show you this because it's where cross stitch meets quilting. Oh, it's the red one. Oh, I love this one. Oh, that's some good stuff right there. I feel like a big Valentine when I'm wearing my red sweatshirt and looking at red cross stitch fabric. It's gorgeous. So if you're interested, I think her quilt along starts, or maybe it's already started. I've got the So Simple Shapes. I need to download the pattern. I'm not sure. I haven't done this before, so I'm going to have to figure out how this is going to work. Plus, I'm gone next weekend. I'm going to watch my niece play volleyball at a tournament in Vegas, so I won't be starting next weekend if that's when it starts. But that's okay, because I'll catch up. 18 minutes. Well, I just have a few things I want to show you that are starts that are coming up for me. So the first one is a Teresa Kogut. I think I showed this in one of my recent videos. This is a Patreon chart. She has one of the best Patreons around. It's called Home. And yep, it's red. But I did do an overdyed conversion. And the threads that I chose are Schoolhouse Red, Holly Berry, Maple Syrup, Kudzu. I think Kudzu might have been what she charted. Grapevine, Straw, and Conch. And then this is from Colorado Cross Stitcher. This is 40 count fragile. So it should fit on this, no problem. I'm not sure. Let me look at this real quick. I might have to switch out the whites because this is clearly very light fabric. We'll see. I might have to switch it out if I'm having problems with it not showing up. So I reserve the right to make adjustments. The other thing that I was supposed to have started by now is for the Jenny Bean for the Parlor. This is a chemo stitch for my friend Pam Horner, and I have all of the patterns and the fabric and the threads all pulled, so I just need to start that. This one jumped out at me. I was poking around in my stash as one might do, right? And I love this one so much, and I love the side of this. It's all oak leaves. I had bought this from Country Sampler. This was a Stacy Nash Club kit from, I think, 2023. She did a bunch of these big drums, and this one is, I think, my very favorite of those. It comes with the ribbon to do the ruching all the way around here. So that one, I might stitch that one sooner rather than later. And the last one, and you'd think, like, I feel so fickle lately. Elizabeth Simon by Scarlet Letter. And the colors that are on this are not really, they don't look like this in real life. And I love the way this looks. So I did pull the silks for it, and I may have changed some. I can't remember. There's a lot more blue in this than what you see on the pattern. But it's got some reds and some blues and a pink, some whites. I have a couple of I really love this one, 3 different fabrics I might choose to start it on. This is Brash, I think, by Picture This Plus. It is, it's Brash. Very, like, dark and modelly. Like it was stitched in a nicotine-filled pub somewhere that was never aired out. Also, here's some Lakeside Lentil. This is a potential as well. It's vintage. And then this one is Sampler Gold by, is this Color and Cotton? It is. I bought this when she had it as a, what would you call it? A new dye. New dye. This is a great color too. This could be the winner. This one is less nicotine. It's still nicotine-y, but not as much as Brash. It's very pretty fabric. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. This is one of the quickest videos I've had. Oh, you know what? I was thinking about doing a giveaway. I guess I'll do it next time. I need to go outside and help my husband put windows in. He's working without me, but you know, he doesn't really need me. But I could go out there and visit with him. Sometimes I do that. Get in the middle of his way. Tell him I'm helping him. That's Moonflowers by Mirabilia. This is a reflection, this weird blob there. Most of my stuff is at my sister's house. I sent more stuff with her today. All right. That's what I have for today. I will see y'all in next month. And look for you on Instagram. Look forward to seeing everybody's progress on your stitch pieces or on YouTube if you're a Flosstuber. And we'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye.